Hey y'all, it's your girl Tiffy, aka Mocha aka your braid lock bestie, and I have an update for you because I had to treat my adult cradle cap, at least that's what I call it. Before I get into all of that, I want to let you know that there are no trigger warnings because I will not be showing you any gross pictures, and I want to give you a brief update because I'll be 4 years locked in June. Don't have any inkling to cut my hair, no itch to cut my hair, no pun intended. And I'm still just really happy with locking my hair. I have braid locks, I have micro locks. I enjoy the versatility of them and the ease of them. Should have done it sooner, they all say that, but I'm for real. Moving on to the meat of the video, which is about my adult cradle cap. I call it that, but it's really just seborrheic dermatitis. The reason I call it adult cradle cap is because babies deal with cradle cap, which is a form of seborrheic dermatitis. Now for babies, it usually goes away in a few months on its own without treatment, but if you're an adult, I guess it doesn't, because turns out that's what I had. My symptoms that made me think that I had adult cradle cap were that my scalp was, one, super dry. Like, no matter the amount of oil I put on it, it was always dry, and it was super flaky, like embarrassingly flaky. I would try to wear styles to cover my dandruff. I would try to, like, how you get in there and like think you pick it all out, and then like 5 seconds later it's somehow just back, or your scalp was so itchy and you couldn't ignore it. You had to scratch it to get some relief, and it just flaked it all back up. Super flaky. Not only was the flakiness really embarrassing, the itch was embarrassing. Like, you see people just like a little casual, like, okay, that's one. I mean, that thing I'll be in it, like, just. So those are my symptoms. I had a follower post on her story about a video she watched by Rose Janner. You can get information about the follower and Rose in the description below. And the follower had posted that she had watched this video that Rose posted about having seborrheic dermatitis and how my follower treated it and she had success. So I'm like, let me look into this because I've suffered from a dry, itchy, flaky scalp for years. If you've been following me on YouTube for a while and even on Instagram, you know that I did hot oil treatments in the winter because I just thought wintertime is when it was at its craziest. Turns out it's just always crazy. The hot oil treatments barely helped. I thought I just wasn't doing them right, that I didn't have a good oil. Then when I was pregnant last year, people were like, oh, your scalp changes when you're pregnant. Everything changes when you're pregnant. So I thought it was just pregnancy. After I had the baby, same nonsense. And that's one thing when your scalp is a little itchy, but like, I mean, my scalp was embarrassingly itchy, embarrassingly flaky. I could do this and have flakes all over my shirt. I could take down a twist out, have flakes all over my outfit. Like, I didn't even want the slightest itch because I would flake up and then it could end up anywhere. I even had like some flaking in my eyebrows at times. I looked on the internet to see if I had seborrheic dermatitis, and the internet made it seem like seborrheic dermatitis was much more severe than what I was dealing with. So I figured, I guess I don't have it. But when my follower posted about Rose's video, I watched it, and based on what Rose shared, you can check out the video. You watch Rose's video, she has way more details about what seborrheic dermatitis is, what feeds it. Essentially, when we have these itchy scalps because of seborrheic dermatitis, when we use the oils that we think are working, like, they're actually just making it worse. So the problem just gets worse and worse and never gets solved. I noticed that, like, no matter what oil I use, no matter what oil combination I use, like, it never got better. So I'm glad I found her video. I thought, worst case scenario, I treat it and it doesn't work because I don't have it. Best case scenario, I treat it and it works because I did have it. I bought Nizoral the first day, y'all. The first night I used it, my scalp felt better immediately. And then I've been washing my hair for years, obviously. And my scalp has never felt so clean. At least since the time I've had locks, I cannot remember the last time that I washed my hair, my scalp felt clean and it didn't feel itchy. So many times I would wash my hair, almost every time I'd wash my hair, and it would just still be flaky. You would think I didn't even wash it. So I was so glad to have like visual relief and actually feel the relief on my scalp. So I continue that process, washing it twice a week or treating it twice a week for 4 weeks. And I'm happy to say that it looks pretty good up here. I will definitely show y'all some pictures of, if I can even find them, because I tried so hard to hide my dandruff. I will insert some pictures of what my flakiness looked like and what it's looking like now, because it looks good. So for washing or treating my hair, I chose to treat my hair on Fridays and Mondays. So there's like 3 days between one and then 4 days between the other. That's twice a week. And what I would do was I would, of course, wet my hair, put the shampoo or the treatment on my scalp. I think most people are learning this by now, but I just want to make sure everyone knows when you're using shampoo or your scalp treatment, it goes on your scalp, not your hair. So I make sure I got it in my scalp. I massaged it in for 30 seconds and let it sit for 30 seconds. And then I rinsed it out and did it again for lather for 30 seconds or massage for 30 seconds and let it sit for 30 and then rinse it out. Did that for 4 weeks, twice a week. The only product that I put in my hair, and Rose talks about this, and then the website that she links in the description that goes over like all the ins and outs of seborrheic dermatitis and products to use and not use, avoid, all that stuff. The only products I put in my hair was MCG oil. I can't even tell you what it stands for, but basically it's not as complex as the oils that we put in our hair. It's definitely not as heavy. An oil that was so light where like if I put it on my fingers or I put it in my hair and massage with my fingers, I really didn't have to wash my hands after. I used to use oils that were so heavy where after I like put them on my scalp or in my hair, I had to like clean my hands after because it was so heavy. But the main thing that I noticed during my treatment for those 4 weeks is like my scalp like rarely itched. So I used to use heavy oils and I used to cake them things on because my scalp was so itchy and I thought I needed more oil to make my scalp less itchy. But with treating my hair and then with using the MCG oil, I rarely had an itchy scalp. I rarely needed to apply the oil. Like I probably put it in like, I honestly max put it in like twice a week because my scalp was rarely itchy to the point where I forgot that I should probably oil my hair. Honestly, know people who don't oil their scalp at all. Like they don't put oil on their scalp. So if you're someone that has symptoms like that, I encourage you really to watch Rose's video and check out the website that she included in her description because the website was super helpful in terms of finding the product that I use to treat my hair, products that I'm using right now to maintain it. So stay tuned for a video in the next month or so about how things have been going, how I've been maintaining it. And I hope this video was helpful for you if you are someone who is suffering like I was, because listen, I'm so glad that I had the follower that posted what she posted. I'm so glad for Rose's video. I'm so glad for Nazoro, and I'm so glad for MCG oil because I shouldn't have to be embarrassed about my scalp. And aside from the embarrassment, I shouldn't be so inconvenienced. Y'all have a great Mocha Monday, and I will see you on Instagram.